What is your prediction for what is going to drop in the part 3 of the 7th anniversary? I made this tweet and it says, drop your 7th anniversary part 3 ultra prediction we'll be using for an upcoming video. Before we get further into the video, I want to say good luck to all of you guys in the part 3. It's something everybody will probably be summoning on, but even if you're not, you can still take the luck as you might summon on something else. But the anniversary has been really unpredictable besides part 1, but that's because it leaked. But I've already dropped my prediction video, so this one is based on what you guys are predicting, so let's get into this. So we've got our first prediction here from Abidku. I know this isn't gonna happen, but Hironobu Kageyama singing Saikyo no Fusion and then transitioning into the reveal to this would be so tough. Well, we know he's performing Chala Head Chala, so that's tough already. You're kind of just not missing, you're not hitting, sorry. Yeah, that's tough. But just because he's performing that doesn't mean that we won't get a Gogeta. But then it could still transition into this with this song playing, if that makes sense. So you're not completely wrong just because of this bit being wrong, because we already know what he's performing. But yeah, Super Gogeta, I guess he's a popular pick, but it's an Ultra, so I don't know why it would be Ultra Super. Like, you know, we already have that. No way to redesign the first summonable Ultra. I feel like that's very unlikely. Maybe it's just me, but yeah. We've got one here from Thanos. Ultra attack Goku and Vegeta from Fusion Reborn. If Vegeta presses the Synchro Gauge, they transform into Friku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. 100% success rate. If Goku presses it, they fuse into Super Gogeta, or they fail and fuse into VQ instead. 50% chance to fail. High risk, high reward. This idea sounds great, but again, are we forgetting this is an Ultra? Unless they're gonna just change their whole scheme with Ultras. It seems that they don't do transforming units with Ultras, so I think that's the thing people are adding. I just really feel that this is unlikely, just because they haven't done a transforming Ultra unit yet. The closest thing we have is the comeback mechanic, and with Golden Frieza and Turles, and they're basically the same afterwards as before. It's just that they have their little health interruption, you know. But with all of this, like, could you imagine what effort they'd have to go through for you to visually look at them? So their art card, the ink, would they have 2 inks? Because you can't re-hold the screen once you press it, you know. They'd have to add a new function or something just to look at their art card if they're going to have them be able to transform. So they'll have multiple pages. It's possible with the RAM update, but like, I think just nobody's really considering that anymore. They're just going all the way in with the ideas. But yeah, this is cool. Well, I just think it's very unlikely. Got one here from Hungry Tech Jita. With Kageyama being involved, I'm 99.98% certain part 3 is Namek related. Ultra LF Namek Goku will save the anniversary. Now this is obviously the most popular pick right now, especially with the fact that Kageyama is performing Chala Head Chala, and his whole performance things throughout Dragon Ball is just DBZ related. Then on top of that, of course, we got the revival Frieza Zenkai. I don't feel like you can go wrong with this pick. This is what I'm predicting myself. I'm playing it safe. I feel like trying to go something different just doesn't make sense. Plus, there's more reasonable arguments for this Goku, because there's only a free-to-play Goku of this Super Saiyan Goku, you know? So if they drop a summonable one, it would make sense and they increase the quality of the unit, and it's actually a dangerous unit in PvP. So yeah, there's not much more to say about, you know, the Super Saiyan Goku idea. Everybody's mostly gunning it, but not everybody, you know, most people are mostly gunning it. Here from Adam Owns 6, same thing that I pretty much said. Ultra Namek Goku 2.0, we have the free to play one, but they can do an ultra summonable one too. Referring to Super Gogeta that we got earlier, this is really why I don't think we'd get Super Gogeta, at least a Z Super Gogeta we want, the Fusion Reborn one. It'll have to be the DBS Broly one, but with the way the things are going, it's going to be DBZ related. But yeah, because we have a free to play one, they can do a summonable one, but why would they recreate a summonable unit that they've already created this soon as well? Like, I know Ultra Super Gogeta dropped a couple years ago. I think it's been 4 years or maybe 5. I think it's 4. It's been a while, but still it's not, you know, that long to the point where they should be recycling the summonable ultras we've already got. There's a lot other options available that they could drop as ultras. We got one from Kaze or Kaze Gekiryu. I think I said that right. Kaze, I think it is though, but it might be Kaze. What if it was Ultra Fuse Zamasu? Now it's been like what, 3 years 3 years of Zamasu fanboys trying to get their Ultra Fusion Zamasu, and they've just lost every single time. They lost when it was Ultra Vegito Blue, and they lost in that festival again. Then they lost the next year in the 6th anniversary of Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then they lost in the festival again with Beast Gohan. So this would be the third year of attempts, not the third attempt, but the third year. But they get 2 attempts every single year. The only way he's dropping is if they drop 2 Ultras, and even then, why would they pick him? They just dropped a Legends Limited Fusion Zamasu earlier this year. But what if, you know, we can leave it at a what if. That's the maximum. But beyond that, just put the fries in the bag, bro. Fusion Zamasu, you've been trying and trying. Plus, Dokkan just got theirs. I think that's a good point to say that, you know, they could get them, but really and truly, they don't sync up like back to back like that. There'd have to be like a small gap, maybe give it 2 months or something. So maybe he could be the next Ultra, but not in the anniversary, bro. Take it easy. But if he drops, hey, I'm not even gonna be mad, you know, after the third year, like, whatever, man. You finally, finally. We got one here from Gibri9979. I believe it will be Vegito Super Saiyan 4 as the game's first game original Ultra, because there's both Gogeta and Vegito Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan Blue, and the only one missing is Super Saiyan 4, which Gogeta does have, but Vegito doesn't. I saw somebody on Twitter post a theory in a sense, basically saying, well, it wasn't from Twitter, it was actually from TikTok, but the person on Twitter was clowning the person from TikTok, saying that, oh, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is gonna drop, and they're basically saying that's impossible, what's wrong with these TikTok guys? And that's because obviously it's from Heroes, they'll be taking the Heroes design, and because of that, it's not gonna be able to be listed as a game originals. They just have to get the licenses. But who's to say they can't just make their own design? Would I think they would go that far? No, but they have created their own designs in some senses. For example, with Charlotte, all the game originals in the story, they're original designs, so I don't think it's impossible, but I just don't think it's likely. And the logic makes sense if you ignore the legality about it, the licenses. You can't just take something from Heroes and then put it into the game. They can't just do that. That's why a lot of people don't think this is possible, but I don't think it should be ruled out. I just think it's a very slim chance. But if this drops, that will have me dead, bro. I will be shocked. We got one here from Kakarot Wairama H. I hope I said that right. Hear me out. First ever Ultra tag. It kind of stays in theme since part 1 and was Goku and Vegeta in their strongest forms in the anime, and then we got part 2 was when they first fought, and then part 3 could be their newest forms. This is not ridiculous. But what it would mean is that they burn out their Daima options super fast. Like, they literally just dropped the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta just before, then to just make them a tag unit right after. I think that's already a reason why a lot of people are not even considering, not even entertaining this idea. But again, it's not ridiculous based on the pattern, but then your third pattern would be, it's just like something in addition based on the previous 2 parts, you know. Strongest, their first forms, you know, I don't think this is ridiculous, but it's easy to rule out. So yeah, I'm just gonna say no, but I could see why somebody would agree. It's understandable. It's understandable. We got one here from Phantom9JA. What if they followed the concept of Goku and Vegeta while still being in sagas from the movies? I say from the Metacooler movie. I don't think this is ridiculous either. It's just why? Why these two of any Goku and Vegeta they could pick? I don't think anybody's really, or I don't think most people, I shouldn't say everybody or anybody. I don't think most people are just sitting there thinking, oh yeah, I can't wait for that Goku and Vegeta from the Metal Cooler movie. Like, that's just not in the front of people's minds, I think. Out of all Gokus and Vegetas that they could pick from, why not the Fusion Reborn Super Gogeta? I think they're 10 times more popular just based off the fact that they fuse in that movie. Why not DBS Broly into, you know, why not the god forms of them? There's so many Gokus and Vegetas we could get, and because of that, I just can't really logically assess why we get this version to close out their biggest celebration. I guess besides from the fact they're in Super Saiyan, but damn, like, I just can't, bro. We got one here from Zekman, and there's actually pretty nice graphics which I wanted to show, so yeah. My Ultra prediction follows the Goku and Vegeta theme, Singular Ultra and Kageyama. I just really like the way he's like, edited this. I think he made it. I'm hoping he made it because it looks nice. Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta Standby, Ultra Spirit Bomb. So he's going with the Buu Saga theme. And I'm not gonna lie, this is not a bad pick in my opinion. I think this is a good pick. It's a good way to close out the anniversary, especially with the usage of the Dragon Balls as well. And then here we got Y. The Ultra Spirit Bomb from the Buu Saga to end of Z is one of my favorite moments from the anime. It is definitely hype enough for the 7th anniversary. Kageyama could start the reveal either singing Chala Head Chala or We Got a Power. We know he's singing Chala Head Chala. Both fitting for this moment. I already have the ink art and the Ultra intro in my head. I could see it too. Ink art, Vegeta states that Goku is #1. Ultra intro, Goku transforming on that pillar against Buu. Now I do understand the problem about this Ultra is, how are they going to make 2 arts for an Ultra? That question is easy. Ink art plays, and Ultra art of both Goku and Vegeta. 3 flashes the screen into Spirit Bomb art, easy as that. Yeah, but then you wouldn't be able to see the middle part of it because it immediately flashes. You can't press. You know, they'd have to add a new function. If it immediately does that, you'd only have it for a small segment of time. Sometimes I want to see the part before, you know. There's also one thing, he's pretty much just plugging his server. He's also adding to it. It's a little server there, which is nice, I guess. You can go to his page if you want to check it out. I can see this. If you can't see this, you might be a little blind, like you don't got imagination. This is an easy way where everyone will be like, hey man, I understand. You know, as long as it looks good and it brings something new to the table, I think people would be happy with Buu Saga ending out the celebration. The unit itself is going to look phenomenal, so I don't think there's major complaints there. It's really about the execution though with a Buu Saga unit based on last year's events, and then it also makes it that Margin Vegeta is more relevant than ever. Oh, I got a headache, man. I got a headache, man. But hey, man, unfortunately, I can see it. Got one here from Kenzo. Please let it be Super Saiyan 3. Now, I can actually see it being Super Saiyan 3. We just spoke about it. But in my prediction, I specifically spoke about the idea of a Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 Goku. A lot of people are going the Buu Saga direction. But I think Dragon Fist would hit maybe a bit harder, you know. I don't know, maybe, is that a hot take? Especially for this anniversary. And with the last year's events of Buu Saga, plus we haven't got any movies. I think Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 would just hit so much harder than the Buu Saga Super Saiyan 3 for this period of time with the previous events of Dragon Ball Legends. If you're not a Legends player, it's a different conversation, but if you are a Legends player and you've been playing for at least a year, I think you should be agreeing with what I'm saying right now. But hey, to each their own, because again, it's a visual thing, it's an execution thing. We don't know how they're gonna pull the strings for the unit, but if they execute either way, like if they went Buu Saga Super Saiyan 3 or Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3, I think Super Saiyan 3 is by far the better option. I think you guys should be agreeing with me, but I don't know. We got one here from Bro Kuta. Broly. Nobody's talking about Broly anymore. The idea of Ultra Broly was very large and loud in the part 1 and the part 2. But now that we're getting very close to the part 3, it's like out the window completely, and that's very interesting. But I understand why. We've got the hints for Frieza Saga, so it's just been shut down. But I never saw Broly as an ultra option in the first place. I've never seen him as an ultra option for the anniversary, at least. The only way he's pulling up is if they drop a Gogeta. You know, they've done it in the festival as Legends Limited, but dual ultras is even a tall ask. If Broly drops, that's cool, but he's not dropping on his own, and that's one thing for certain. I know that for sure. But Broly would look cool. I think they would just do him nice. Would he look better than whatever else they drop? Hell nah. But whatever, you know, if he drops, it's cool. And the last one here from MK, a main ultra that's summonable with improved banners, and a way for Legends to include this guy as a second ultra with all the shallot buffs and raid we've been getting. It could imply something also 3 Gogetas came back. Now, this is the most reasonable thing I've probably seen the whole video besides from the Super Saiyan Goku things. If they drop 1 ultra, fine, but then if they drop a free-to-play one, that gives room for 2 ultras, and because of the way the story's going and the raids, shallot buff, Game Originals goes to the moon, 2 teams get buffed in one part of the celebration again. They give an excuse to have 2 ultras, but they're not both summonable, so we don't think they're greedy, but they still make their money because they dropped an ultra. They don't have to change the rate, so it's still tough for us to pull, but we're gonna want the ultra, so we're gonna pull anyways. And at least it's not 2 ultras, we've been dealing with it, so we all go in. This is probably the best outcome for part 3. 2 ultras, one of them's free to play, it's the shallot, and then we all are happy. as long as the other Ultra that's actually summonable is very valuable. It needs to be worth our coins. As long as it's worth our coins, everybody leaves happy. And I think that would be the best ending for the 7th anniversary with part 3, but there might be an after party, but it's just an LL. We don't really read too much into that. We just take it as an LL next part, but it's part of the anniversary if they do an after party, which I hope they do. If they do drop a Super Saiyan Goku, then it will probably be a Legend Limited Frieza, just like they did with Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta into Omega Shenron. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the videos. Some of these predictions were good, so let me know if there were any that you specifically liked or specifically disliked, or if you have your own that was not mentioned in this video, be sure to leave it down below in the comment section. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.